pretty self-controlled and disciplined, but, you know, I need a Band-Aid. But listen, if you've never, I know Christians who think they've got so many things figured out, they've got all the doctrine in place, they can quote it to you. But you look at their heart, and the grace is not there. Why? Because they put the yoke on their neck, and they never really came to Jesus. They put the yoke on their neck, and they got a Band-Aid when the Lord wanted to do heart surgery. The Lord wants to do heart surgery on us. Now, those who teach the doctrines, and they've never come to Jesus and let him do the heart stuff, will be Pharisees. And that's who I used to be. We're going to talk to you guys about why we think baptism is essential for salvation. And I know some of you don't believe that. But we have to do this with a way that's gracious. Now before, in my previous life, I would probably just stand up here and say, you're all dumb if you don't believe what I believe, But how does grace work? Grace says this: number one, I'm still learning. Number two, let's sit down and dialogue about it. I'm not just going to hand you a policy and say, believe this or duh. You know, grace says, let's sit down and dialogue about it. You know, and grace is patient, but also, if you don't have a life where people respect you enough to listen, somewhere grace is missing. Have you ever heard someone talk who they just sounded like they had it all figured out? They just sounded like they were talking down to you. They're missing grace. And they never really gain a right to be heard, and people don't really care to hear. And so what we want to do as we go through this, and we teach some things, and maybe you don't even believe all the things we teach, but I want to teach them graciously. And it's not just about baptism. And I want to dialogue with you. I had a conversation with one of you here this week for about 3 hours about baptism, and I hope I was gracious in that, and I think I learned some things in that discussion. But as we go through these things, and we try, this foundation is so important, it's worth getting right. Because, you know, for a long time I didn't believe baptism. You know, because I saw so many people get baptized, I didn't see their life changed. And I saw people who, and I saw a lot, it's not the most popular thing. Especially in America, they don't teach baptism the way that I was taught growing up and then the way I've come back to believe. But I saw a lot of people, they had done that external thing, but there was no life change. And so I got away from believing what I was taught growing up. But listen, just because something is popular, does that mean we believe it? Because that's what I was starting to do. I started to, what is the popular opinion? And just because something is easy, is that what I believe? But we need to know, what does the Word of God say? And that's what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. And I'm asking you to bring your heart and your mind, and bring a will to know His Word. And I'll do my best not to be a Pharisee. But you know, a good father, if a father is adopting some children, it is important. Or even just building a, no one wants me to teach a Little League baseball team, you know. But if a coach were to do that, you gotta bring people in, you gotta lay some groundwork so everyone's on the same page. And even if we go through all this and you decide you don't believe exactly what we believe or whatever, you know, we are friends. We are part of the big body of Christ here in this city. But I want you to know this. The Lord's been talking to me from Ezekiel 34 for the last year. I'll close with this. And the worship team, you guys can come. And because, like I said, I kind of got away from trying to teach through some of the doctrines, and especially the one with baptism. I haven't mentioned a lot about that or taught on it in like 3 years. Because I saw so much legalism and so many Pharisees a part of it. But what God began to do to me, He kept taking me back to Ezekiel 34. Ezekiel 34 talks about shepherds neglecting the sheep and how the sheep are scattered. And it says that God is looking for shepherds who will lay down their life for the sheep. And what we're going to be doing through this time is not simply trying to force ideas and concepts on people, but just like James chapter 3 says, be careful of those of you who teach. There should not be many of you who are teachers, because we who teach will be judged more strictly. And God began to say, like, Caleb, you have to do your best to understand what Scripture says. We have to teach that. And if someone can show you and help you see that that's not right, that's fine. But that's what this is about. I feel like as the shepherds of the church, the elders of the churches, we're trying to understand, what does the Bible say about these things? Because I already know there's going to be at least 3 or 4 of you when we say things that right now you don't agree with. And we're not trying to expel or exclude, but God has put on us the responsibility to do our best to understand what the Bible says. Not what's popular, not what's easy, but to get the foundation right. And that's what we're going to be doing after we talk about Haiti next week. So next week, come, we'll learn about Haiti, have some good food, and we're going to jump into some of these teachings. Thank you for being here today. And let's just stand. We have an invitation song. I hope we got an invitation here. If you need prayer today, if you need, if you want to get baptized, we're going to talk more about that in the future. But I already know there's 2 of you that want to get baptized, and we're going to do that soon here. We might even do it this week. And so we're going to, if you want to do that, come this morning. You think about getting baptized, come. Let's just pray. I know there's 2